Hey guys, hope you're all well. Right, yes, it's another instalment on the Harley, I'm afraid. I know some of you are actually enjoying this little mess about with this bike, which I thoroughly appreciate. My apologies for the bit of a hold up we've got on the Enfield. It's, you know, Alex is absolutely buried in work at the moment and he's doing his best to get to my bit. So we're just going to have to bear with that for a little while. Hopefully it's not going to be too long. You know, I can't keep pestering him to try and jump up his queue. As I've explained before, he has his regular customers that can put work into him on a weekly basis. They come first. That pays his wages and pays his workforce's wages. So we're just going to have to bear with him, and hopefully you guys can bear with me on that one. Yes, so in the meantime, we've got a few more bits to do on the Harley. I'm just tinkering away, slowly working through a few bits that, you know, a little bit rough on there. Some of them quite rough, as you've seen, but we will get there. I've actually been looking at a few adverts of these Harleys, the Sportster, the 883 and the 12. They're all pretty much the same, aren't they? And, you know, on some of the adverts, they're claiming for these bikes to be absolutely pristine condition. But when you have a little zoom in, if the photos are good enough, yes, quite a few of them suffering with that rusty bit on the lower part of the frame and flaking of the engine. So yeah, it seems to be a very common thing. I'm certainly not going to claim that this is absolutely pristine condition when this comes up for sale. Like I say, if any of you guys are interested in it, you can see exactly what I've been doing to this bike and the fashion I've done it in. And I've said, to be fair, to do anything properly, you need to completely strip stuff. But that's a monumental task and an awful lot of time. This is just a little side project to tidy it up and move it on. But I will do it to the highest standard as I can, and it will last a very long time. Anyway, yeah, I've also been learning quite a bit about these bikes, like I say. Also, I'm not claiming to be any expert at all. I don't like doing that, and if information came from a 5-year-old and it's correct, I'll take it on board. I don't mind. I know some people get a bit uppity about people telling them about things or sharing their knowledge. I don't get it. Some people get upset about it. I don't mind it. That's what the comment section is for. So I've learned a bit about the indicators, that's for sure. So I've got that sort of down now with the help of a guy who watches the channel called Ronnie. So the back ones, they have not got that screwdriver bit to pop the caps off. The back ones are LED and they've got the stop tail light built inside of them. The front ones have got that little slot to pop the caps off because the front ones are bulbs. So I've learnt a little bit there, which is great. And like any project, you learn a lot as you go along. So today I am going to continue tidying a few bits up. I've got one of the mirrors off. I'm going to get the other mirror off and get them rubbed down. I've already rubbed one down actually, and get some paint on them. That little bit that we're repairing on the engine, the final coat I will do on that, that's the coat I'm going to try and put a bit of texture in. I think someone in the comments also said Harley Davidson do a texture paint, but it's horrific money, and I'm trying to do this on a bit of a budget. So it seems like anything with Harley Davidson in the title, they'll just quadruple plus the price. So I think we'll get by with what we're doing. Like I say, I'll do my best to get it looking the best as I can, and obviously prolong its life. So I think today we'll get the mirrors done. I'll probably put another coat of primer on the bottom of that frame because I want to build it up a bit, so I've got plenty to flat down. I did dig all the rust out. Someone did mention of putting a rust treatment on it, but I prefer to get all the rust out and gone so it's fresh metal and go from there. I've just undone the bottom bolt on the rectifier, which was quite scary, but I've got a funny feeling the top one's going to snap. It won't budge. But again, if it does, it's no big problem. We'll drill it out and tap it. Simple as that, and we'll get new fixings for it. So yeah, we're just going to roll on and carry on. Let's see where we get to today. Right, I'm going to start with trying to get that top fixing out, the red wreck. It's not feeling good, I've got to say that. The bottom one's come out. If it snaps, it snaps. There's not a lot I can do about it. Oh, it's not good. Oh, I've got a little bit of movement then. Now is that shearing or is that actually coming undone? Oh, it's not feeling good. Oh no. Oh. I knew it. Oh well, it's not a major problem. We can drill that out and get it sorted. Why is it still tight? Okay, we're even going to have to give it a bit of encouragement with both bolts off. Let's get a spanner. See if we can... There we are. Right. Let's chase it back to the plugs and get that off. Looks like we've got a few plugs on there. Right. We've got it at last. Yeah, it's in a little bit of a mess. Obviously it still works, so I think someone's been doing a little bit of off-roading. It's got more mud on this than my KX. So we'll get this a damn good clean up. And we'll get this painted up as well. So I'm just getting myself a little painting pile together of all the little bits that need sorting out, and we'll start tidying them up. Yeah, it will certainly look better than that when we're finished. Okay, I've just ran that round the wire wheel on the bench grinder. But most of the crud off the outer face of it. We got this in here, but luckily the radius of this fits in there. We've got a really fine grip belt on there, so we can do that. So we could go over that with the outside as well, get that a bit smoother. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I think we can get, with a little bit of time, we can get this a lot better. The outside's gonna be easy. It's in here because there's quite a lot of crust in there. I'm gonna get down a bit of it with a wire brush. It's not gonna go all the way in. Get part way down there. A fair bit coming out. I don't know if I can catch the light right in there so you can see, but what I've got an hacksaw blade. Obviously this is nice and fine, so that'll help drag some of it out. Just got to be a little bit of time and patience. That's getting in there. I'm not applying loads of pressure. I'm not gonna end up cutting it in half or anything like that. It's just enough to loosen all them flaking bits out and get them off. Yeah, what I'll do then, I'm just gonna sit down with my cup of tea and work at that and basically get it good enough for painting. Okay, moving on a little bit, I have spent a lot of time getting that ready for a bit of paint. I have scraped and scraped and scraped in between them fins as best as I can. I think by the look of it, with my dodgy old eyes, we have got pretty much all the loose off that now. I can sense people saying, oh, I hope he highlights the edge of them fins and leaves them bare alloy. I might do. I might. The sensible thing is saying, just leave it black. And then there's another bit of me saying, yeah, it'd look all right down there with the fins highlighted. We'll see how it goes. Right, mirrors. I've got one mirror that I've flatted back a little bit. This one. I'm going to do it a little bit more. We've got the mirror I've just took off that's still in a terrible state. As you can see that. So we've got to flat that back. Bottom of the frame. I have washed all that out again and again and again. Now that regret's out the way. And I blew it all out. So I don't think there's any more loose in there. I've flatted some of that primer around. Obviously it looks absolutely terrible at the moment, as you can see. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to mask the front of the engine out as best as I can. And I am going to try and just carefully put a bit of spray primer down there as well. And at least that will allow me to see sort of any bad surfaces on there, like the differences, and it'll highlight it a bit better than me putting loads of thick primer on with the brush. The primer that stayed in there is obviously in a few low spots, which is good. So yeah, I think I'm going to very carefully go over a bit of spray primer. I've got some red primer. I'm going to do that, but mask the front of the engine off first, and then flat that out, and then go over with the black. I think we'll get it looking all right. What else was they? Where have I put that? I don't know. Where have I gone and put that? I'm losing things, not just my mind. Ah, there it is. So the engine cover that we made, well, the frame cover, I haven't taken that to the powder coaters. One, I didn't want to drop anything else off to Alex. He seemed a bit stressed out with all the work he's got. and I didn't want to put anything else on his plate. As little as it is, I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. And also, more so, I should say, more so, this is obviously in the firing line of everything coming up off that front wheel. So this is basically going to be getting battered with debris off the road. It's going to get chipped really easy. No doubt it'll have chips in it in the first half a mile. So if I think, yeah, I'm going to paint it, because it'll be easier to keep on top of then. Whoever owns the bike probably just be able to take this off now and again, give it a little flat out and get another coat of paint. If it's powdered and it starts getting chipped, it's just going to start coming off in big sheets, especially with it being alloy. It soon gets under the powder and starts taking big chunks of it off. So I think with it sort of rattle canned, I reckon it'd be easy to maintain. That is my poor excuse. Anyway, I'm going to do it. Right, I'm going to get on with flattening them mirrors out a little bit more. I've got some masking. I thought I had some fine line tape, but I can't find it, so this will do. I believe this is actually powder coated masking tape, so it withstands the heat. Not that it matters. All we want to do is mask the glass off, so it doesn't matter. Masking tape, normal masking tape. The edges don't seal 100% well, so paint can go under it. So this stuff will do a better edge, so we don't get no paint sort of feeding under it. Yeah, that's it. Let's get on with some mirrors. Okay, rolling forward to much later in the day, well, late at night. So I got some primers on all this lot, and I ended up going off and doing other little jobs. So before I close the doors now, well, get bikes in and shut doors, I'm going to get the black on these, and then I'm calling it a day in here, but not with this video just yet. So I'm going to get the black on, then it can all go off overnight, and then we'll come back in the morning. So I'll be back with you in a couple of seconds, and we'll just carry on. Right, moving on to the following day. I have been going several hours at, yeah, I've been doing a bit of painting, a bit of cleaning, a bit more stripping. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Of course it was going to go a little bit further. I couldn't stop myself. So we got the mirrors all tidied up. They are looking a lot better. You probably can't see too much in this light, but at least they're scratch and chip free. Oh yeah, I took the exhaust off. So, my reasoning behind that was, where are the nuts? The nuts that go on the studs were absolutely terrible. But you know what? While I'm doing engine steadies, like the head steady and that, I'm going to take the bottom engine steady off in a moment actually. I might as well do a few more things. So there were the nuts off the exhaust. Yeah, they were a bit of a game to get off, I must say. So at least now I can replace these, and I've actually found 3 stainless ones. I need 4 that they are the correct thread. I'm sure I'll have another one somewhere. I'll keep hunting when I get a minute. So I've got stainless ones to replace them. We'll clean the studs up, and that should give it a bit better, longer life. You know, if anybody ends up with this, well, someone will end up with this bike, and they do need to take things off it for servicing or repairs or even cleaning. Some people do strip their bikes out a little bit when they're cleaning. I know I do. It will just make life easier. Anyway, the main top engine steady bracket that comes off the front cylinder has gone to the powder coaters. I dropped that off the other day. Then I was looking at all the other brackets that hang off the front of this frame. I thought, you know what, I might as well pull the rest of them off. I'm actually going to paint these in here myself though. I don't want to load any more work onto Alex, and they've only little brackets, so I'm going to paint them myself. But look at that. Well, I'll soon get them cleaned up and vastly improved. Then we got this one. This is the horn bracket, just for the horn. Look at that thing. That'd hold the foghorn on the Titanic, that would. In fact, it looks like it's come off the Titanic last week. Look at the state of it. It just seems that anything on the front of these bikes gets absolutely battered and starts rotting. Oh, we've done the reg rec. That's all nice and tidy now. I painted my little guard that we done. I don't know if you can see it, but I was messing about with like a real fine textured finish on that. You probably can't tell on the camera, I don't know. So obviously I'm going to use that little idea on the engine when I come to do the final coat on that. What else have we done? Oh, I cleaned the short pipe up so far. I know most of it's hidden behind the covers, but I might as well clean stuff as it comes off because it helps, yeah, give it a longer life basically. So I've just got to clean the longer pipe up. Luckily the shrouds aren't too bad, they should clean up nicely. What else we got going on? Yeah, I've got to take the bottom engine steady off. Oh, I put like a single coat of black on the frame so far. Again, you probably can't see very well. It's a load better, but I'm going to very lightly flat that out and probably do that 2 or 3 times till we got a nice thick layer of paint on there. So next, bottom engine steady off. I'm not looking forward to that. I've also, everything that I've took off, I have ordered stainless fixings for. I've searched high and low. I've looked through the bag that Gertrude bought for me, but I still got to order some. So like I say, everything I'm taking off, the stainless fixings going in them. So whoever ends up with this bike should not have this problem again. I've also got to paint the rear indicators, haven't I? But we're slowly just chipping away for all the small jobs. Anyway, I'm going to get that front bracket off, see how this goes. Right, I think I've got this one on the move. Oh, one of them. This is ridiculous. Wow. That one's going. Surprised it ain't twisting the tool. That is absolute crackers. A little bit of heat in there actually. Let's get down, at least with this gun. It's only a little flame look, but it could be just enough to make life a bit easier. Well, at least we can paint it all up. That's definitely going easier. It's just gonna have to be a bit of patience, a bit at a time. As far, there we go. Ah, we're going easy now. Well, I say easy, it's still a fair amount of resistance there. bonkers. Certainly a workout. Right, I'm going to drop a bit of heat on the other one and see how we go with that. At least get that one on the move as well. This is insane. I've been on one bolt for about half an hour. Unbelievable. And I've stripped one Torx, not this one. I just managed to get this one. It was starting to go, but I managed to get it on the move. The one that goes into the engine, I've had to get mole grips on that. Proper wrenching it to get it on the move. And I got one, like I say, that's ripped out. It's going to be a nightmare. Whew. What are they putting these with in? Can't even talk right, I've lost my breath. What are they putting these in with in the Harley Davidson factory? Have they got 3 ton of thread lock on them or something like that? I don't know. Was it just someone sat there with the zip gun? Brrr. Hey John, you coming for apple pie tonight? Brrr. Yeah, I'll bring the Bud Light. Maybe not that bit. That is absolutely ridiculous. So I've got this one on the move now. But the other one, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get that out at the minute. I'll have a go with the mole grips. Definitely need fixings in these ones. I've absolutely butchered them. I had no choice. I think they have got thread lock on, about 4 ton of it. There's signs of it all the way down the thread by the look of it, and that, unless that's just furring out the aluminium. I don't know how that one's gonna come out. It's always one, isn't it? Always one. Typical. I've got to get it off because I can see flaking on the frame. It'd be nice to be able to get all round that and sort it out as best as we can with the way we're doing it. Whew. One more. Well, it's got to come out. I'll get it out and it'll be all worth it when it is out. That's what I'm trying to tell myself. Right. This is going to take a while, so I'll just get back with you when I've done it. You'll see how I've done it in a minute. Come on. That was ridiculous. Right, that is crazy. Believe it or not, I have spent several hours just trying to get them couple of brackets off the bike. This thing's a bit mad because, you know, you look at the bike and it really isn't that bad. But it's just got these odd little things here and there that are terrible. Absolutely terrible. So basically I've destroyed every fixing getting them out, which I'm not too fussed about because I am replacing them all with stainless, which will be a lot better. I mean, look at this, the one we've just took off. Look at that. I've got to get that one out yet, but at least that's off the bike and I've got the vice and everything to hand, so that one will come out regardless. The other one that you just see me fighting with, I welded a rocker cover bolt off an Enfield onto there. Well, welded, spattered that on there. The welder barely reaches over there, so I was like trying to tug it over and get as much spattered weld on there as possible. So yeah, that's how that one came out. But I don't know, it's crazy how some bits of it look like they've been at the bottom of the ocean, and most of the bike is absolutely fine. So we'll get these cleaned up. I'm not going to do them in this video. While I'm waiting for stuff, I am doing other jobs as well as this, just making use of the sort of downtime on the full builds until the powder coating arrives. I think next on this, like I said, I'm going to go off and do something else now because it's getting late in the day. Next on this, we'll tidy them brackets up, get all the rust off them, and I'm going to paint them in here. Like I said before, I don't want to load any more work onto Alex, so I'm going to do them in here. We'll get a good amount of paint on them, we'll primer them up, I'll say replace all the fixings with stainless, so it is definitely going to be better than what it was. And then with all that out the way now and the exhaust pipes, I can get round the frame properly to sort any more rust and flaking out and get it all painted up and blended in. So it shouldn't take me that long. So yeah, we'll get them brackets done in the next video and get them painted up, and maybe we'll have to start getting things back then, and we'll get this bike back into one piece. Whew, it's been a bit of a challenge. Yeah, I had to disconnect all the battery obviously while I was welding and all that, and it come out eventually. Anyway, I think that'll do me. Like I say, it's just little sort of updates on this Harley Davidson thing. I ain't going into full detail with it. It's just little bits, so you can just follow it along and then see how it comes out at the end. And obviously off to the MOT station when it's done. And I think it will go through nicely when we're finished. A massive thank you to you guys for being patient with me with the Enfield and still buying the odd sticker. That is immensely appreciated, because obviously we've just got no choice but to wait for the engine parts to come back from the powder coaters, and then we can just swing straight onto that and plough forward with it. Like I say, it'd be nice if someone's got that bike for the summer and they can go off and enjoy it. Anyway, that'll do. I'm off to do something else now. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.